All right, so hello friends. My name's Holly. For those who don't know me, I'm a yoga instructor in DC, and I've been creating some yoga classes as well as meditation and relaxation stuff during the COVID virus outbreak while we're all at home. Today I'm going to lead us in kind of a poem meditation. So I'll start with one way that what we're about to do is often described is called Lectio Divina. For those that haven't heard of Lectio Divina, it's a spiritual practice that actually started in like the 3rd century. Traditionally, it was done like a monk would, read a scripture, and you would read it multiple times until it kind of became meditative and contemplative rather than, just reading like a text. In my own spiritual practice, I do it with poems rather than with scripture. And it's in no way religious, but it is kind of a nice way to meditate and relax while still having something in your mind to think about. So how this will work, I'll read a poem 3 times. The first time, you're just gonna let it wash over you. The second time, maybe you can start to really hear it and hear what the poem is saying. And then the 3rd time, I encourage you, if there's a certain word or phrase that really speaks to you in the moment, latch on to that. And then we'll spend some time, a few minutes, just, meditating on that, contemplating the meaning of the word or phrase. And you might even notice, after a while, after repeating the same word or phrase for a while, it starts to take on new meanings or no meanings and all that stuff. So it's just a nice way to kind of relax. So the poem I'm going to read to you tonight is one of my favorites. It's called Wild Geese by Mary Oliver, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have read it. And before we begin, I'll just tell you the first line of it, which is one of my favorite opening lines in a poem, is you do not have to be good. Now, I want to talk first about being good in the context of the COVID virus. For sure, part of why I'm doing this is because I want to create content that people can do at home so we can, flatten the curve, slow the spread of COVID, not just in our community, in our country, but around the world. So in many ways, I encourage you to be good as far as social distancing, staying in quarantine if you're sick, washing your hands all the time, all that stuff. I took a walk yesterday and it was a beautiful day, but I was disheartened to see how many people were kind of congregating in bigger groups, like playing sand volleyball, stuff like that. So in that context, even though the opening line of the poem is you do not have to be good, I'm not encouraging you to, touch your face all the time and then, kiss your 90-year-old grandmother on the lips. But I am encouraging you that for those of you who've just been sort of holding it together or trying to stay calm, you don't have to be good. If you need to cry, you can cry. If you need to scream, you can scream. If you need to just take a moment and step back, that's fine. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be totally in control all the time, especially now. So I'll continue. I'll read this poem 3 times, and then on the 3rd time we'll meditate. So I'm going to light a candle first, and you're always welcome to light a candle as well. So I like to be seated, but you're welcome to lie down as well. My mom specifically asked for a meditation practice where she could lie down, and it's my parents' 42nd wedding anniversary today, so happy anniversary to them. So Mom, if you're watching this, you're welcome to lie down on the floor. Otherwise, you can just sit up. When you sit, notice if you're leaning forward into the future, back into the past. Maybe try to sit upright, being in the present moment. So you can close your eyes, and we'll just start by taking a few slow breaths, starting to center the body, the mind. Take a slow inhale through your nose. Slow exhale through the nose. Do another slow inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the nose. Feel your body rooted to the earth. Feel the world holding you up. You are firmly in this moment, Relax your shoulders. Relax your chest. Relax your legs. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Relax. Take another slow inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the nose. Continue to breathe slowly. This is Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination. Calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Take a slow inhale through your nose. Slow exhale through the nose. Slow inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the nose. I'll read the poem again, this time maybe listening a little differently. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Taking another slow inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the nose, relaxing the body. Another slow inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the nose. I'll read it one more time. This time I encourage you to latch on to a word or a phrase that speaks to you. And if you're like me and it's hard to pick just one, or you start to second guess, oh, did I pick the right one? That's okay. Whatever you choose, just let it be. You can always do this again and pick a different phrase. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. So I encourage you, to continue to keep your eyes closed, to feel the earth holding you up. And we'll sit here for 5 minutes, meditating on the phrase or word that you've chosen. While I could talk you through it, I'm just going to use most of the time for us to be still. Again, you might find that, the mind wanders or the body wanders, and that's okay. But again, the nice thing about this type of meditation, this type of contemplation, is that that word or that phrase is here to anchor you back to the present moment. If you notice the mind wandering, sometimes I just like to do the loving kindness gesture of just say to yourself, thinking, and then returning to this breath. Take a slow inhale through your nose, a slow exhale through your nose. And we'll continue in silence, even if that's a little scary, especially these days. Notice that I'm right here with you. You are not alone. You're ready. Take a slow inhale through your nose. Slow exhale through the nose. You wiggle your toes, your fingers, roll out your shoulders, and in your own time, you can open your eyes. So one thing that I love about yoga is that it's an ancient tradition, so it's rooted not just in time, but also in space, right? So I feel rooted and anchored and connected, not just with people, from the last 1,000 years, but also with people around the world practicing yoga in the current moment. The practice of divine listening, I think, is the same. It's been around for a long time, but we do it in different ways. And especially with Wild Geese by Mary Oliver, I know that is a much loved poem for many of us. So I hope that you feel a little bit more connected to those around you and a little bit more at peace inside of your own body. Friends, my wish for you today is, of course, to be a good neighbor, to take care of yourself, to take care of others, practicing good hygiene, social distancing. But my other wish for you is to remember that you don't have to be good all the time. And if you need to take a break and just be, a little selfish, or do something silly, or step back from work for a moment even though it's crazy, that's okay. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Feel free to reach out to me on social media if you like this, or if you have any requests for future meditation, relaxation, or yoga videos. You're welcome to donate to me via Venmo at Holly Hancock, but it's totally optional. And if you are also currently unemployed because of COVID, I specifically ask that you do not donate to me. Please take this as my gift to you. Have a wonderful evening. Hope to see you all very soon.